don't go to.
At the crowd.
I can't hit my notes.
You county party also?
Here we go. This time I'd like to call to order the 30 April 2025 Jackson County Commission meeting. I'd like to say thank you for everyone being here and welcome. So at this time, Mr. Hemrick, our county administrator, please call the roll to establish a quorum.
Commissioner Gully,
Present.
Commissioner Kenworth,
Present.
Commissioner Buckner, Commissioner McBride.
Present.
We do have a quorum. Everyone will please stand. I'll ask our county attorney, Mr. Ford, to read our invocation, and Commissioner McBride to read our pledge of allegiance.
God, our Father in heaven, we are blessed. We're so thankful for this time of renewal. We are thankful for the renewal of the earth and the renewal of our spirits. We're thankful for your presence. We are also thankful for all the men and women who serve us each and every day in so many different ways in public service. And we're so thankful for them and their families and what they give us, and how they protect us and take care of us and serve us. So God, we're thankful for them. We pray you'll continue to watch over them and guide them. Watch over us all and guide us every day. In Christ's name, amen.
Amen.
Attention, salute, pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
In your packet, you have the agenda for tonight's meeting. We do not have any new business tonight. We have 4 items in our work session. So with that, do I have a motion to approve the 30 April 2025 commission meeting agenda?
Make that motion.
We have a motion, have a second?
Second.
We have a second. Any questions? Not all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Thank you. We do have some awards and presentations tonight. We have 4 awards that we'd like to make in recognition of time of service. So if the commissioners would join me, please. Mr. Brandon Phillips. There it is. Brandon joined the Sheriff's Department in February 7th, 2020, and as a patrol deputy. I was promoted to investigation sergeant in 23, and investigation lieutenant was promoted again to investigation lieutenant in June of 24. Brandon, what we want to do is present you a certificate of recognition for your service to the county. And this is 5 years of service. And we certainly want to say thank you for what you do for Jackson County and all the citizens of Jackson County. Certificate reads, a certificate of recognition is awarded to Brandon Phillips in appreciation for your 5 years of dedicated service to the people of Jackson County. Presented on this 30th day of April, 2025. Brandon, thank you very much. Okay. Nicholas Morgan. Nicholas has been with us 5 years also, and so we want to say thank you for great service that you provide to all of our citizens of Jackson County. We really do appreciate it. Started in March of 2020 as a corrections deputy, and then transferred over to the sheriff's office as a patrol deputy in September 2020. And then May of 23, was promoted to patrol sergeant. So Nicholas, thank you so much for what you're doing. And this certificate reads, certificate of recognition award is given to Nicholas Morgan in appreciation for your 5 years of dedicated service to the people of Jackson County. Yes. Nicholas, thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thanks, sir.
AJ, we have 2 minutes. Patrick? Patrick, thanks for all your service.
Oh, thank y'all.
We know you're out on those hot days and doing all that work for us out on the roads, and so we want to say thank you. Patrick joined as an HMT1 in the Public Works Department in February or March of 2020, and was promoted to HMT or HMI2, HMT2, excuse me, in March of 21, and then in May of 24 was promoted to HMT3. And so this is recognition of your 5 years of service to Jackson County and the citizens of the county. Certificate reads, a certificate of recognition is awarded. This award is given to William Pelham in appreciation for your 5 years of dedicated service to the people of Jackson County. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Appreciate what you did.
Thank you. Thank you.
Mr. Eric Centel. Eric is being recognized for 15 years of service to the people of Jackson County. And he started as an appraiser one in March of 2010, and then was promoted to real property appraiser 2 in 2012, and in 2015 was promoted to appraiser 3. In October 2016 was promoted to chief appraiser. And then in October of 21, mapping and appraisal supervisor.
Yeah.
And I need help occasionally. And then in October 23 was mapping and appraisal supervisor and the GIS coordinator, which was a new capability that we put in the service here in Jackson County. And so we asked Eric to do that. So Eric, this, take that off, but this is a certificate of recognition. This award is given to Eric Centel in appreciation for your 15 years of dedicated service to the people of Jackson County. Thanks for doing a great job. Thank you. Eric. I don't think we have any public comment tonight. So we will move forward with our work session. First discussion in work session is the state is proposing to put in a new boat ramp at Mud Creek, and we have been working with Mr. Keith Henderson, who is the Fisheries and Development Coordinator with Wildlife and Freshwater Fisheries. Keith, you came to see us, I think about 1.5 2 years ago, and we started talking about that now. So if we could, we're going to turn this over to you for discussion. As Keith is coming up, as you know, we've been working on an agreement with Keith for this. There's an agreement between Jackson County Commission and the Wildlife and Freshwater Fisheries Department. And so we've had a number of exchanges, and it's been a very good exchange of information. And I think I believe we're in a position tonight to recommend acceptance of that agreement. And I'm going to also have our county attorney, Mr. Porter, involved in this discussion. And so, Keith, let me turn it over to you.
Yeah. Chairman Nance, thank you very much. And Mr. Porter, thank y'all very much for your help in putting together this agreement But just a little background, I'm the Fisheries Development Coordinator for Alabama Wildlife Freshwater Fisheries. I'm over our boat ramp programs. That's one of my responsibilities, and we've come into a good bit of funding in the last few years that we're utilizing statewide to really improve boating access. And we've made a big push, do a lot of work, in particular here in Jackson County. So the agreement we put together is pretty comprehensive. It actually entails a lot of stuff, but I just kind of want to highlight some other stuff that we're doing outside of the agreement in Jackson County. We are making a parking lot improvement at, let's see, I have some notes here, parking lot improvement at Crow Creek. Putting a new pier in at Raccoon Creek, and we're improving 5 waterfowl access areas here in Jackson County that can be utilized for waterfowl hunting, but they're also open year round. People like to use them for non-motorized vessels, access and stuff like that. So canoes, kayaks. So we're really making an improvement, but where we really reaching out to you guys and need your help for is we're trying to build a nice big facility at Mud Creek, directly across the bridge from the existing Mud Creek facility. We already have plans drawn up for it. We're going through the regulatory permitting, but the federal funds that we have that we will use to build the boat ramp, we've got to have help maintaining it long term to protect those federal funds over a period of time. So within that agreement, the agreement has 5 access areas. It has Mud Creek North, which is the new facility. It has Mud Creek, which is the existing facility. It has Langston Road, Long Island, North Sati, and Raccoon Creek. And what we had proposed was and I guess we're superseding some old agreements and trying to put it all in one agreement so it's straightforward instead of having 20 different agreements floating out there. But have the county handle the main maintenance, routine maintenance at Mud Creek North, which would be the new facility that we built, Mud Creek and Langston Road. And then we also added in some language just for some assistance, maybe picking up trash wherever the county is available at Long Island, North Sati, and Raccoon Creek. Much less of a maintenance burden, really just getting y'all to help us when we can. Our funding is really to build and provide, and we rely on cooperating partners, whether it's cities, counties, to help us maintain it for the mutual benefit of the citizens of Jackson County and the state of Alabama. Also entailed in this agreement would be a $75,000 reimbursement that would allow us to contract Jackson County to help us with non-routine maintenance activities. Y'all have the ability to say no. There's no contractual obligation that would require you to do anything, but it'd be more so in an instance where a pier is damaged or something like that, and it's hard to navigate through our state purchasing procedures, or if y'all have something on the contract that is cheaper than we can procure, we'd be able to reimburse y'all if y'all would do the work for those repairs at 100%, up to $75,000 a year per boat ramp. And then also until that is that we would fund the new boat ramp that we're estimating around $2 million for that new facility. And so that's kind of the background of it. It is really just we're wanting to make a big investment here in Jackson County, and we just need y'all's help with that in some way, shape, or form. And I'll take any questions that y'all have.
Let me clarify, Doug. I think the way the agreement's written in the key, you have primary responsibility for 3 areas. That's Mud Creek area, Langston area, and
The other Mud Creek.
Mud Creek North.
Mud Creek North.
okay. And occasionally if necessary to check the others out. Okay. I think right now you're trying to take care of 6.
Yes. They're very cumbersome, I understand.
It helps us out a lot with the amount of work that you would have to put in and gas and travel, that kind of stuff. So we really appreciate Thank you. So let me open up for questions.
So the lighting at all of these facilities, I know we've got new lights at Langston or the other facilities lit well, because I mean, security as far as when it gets later in the evening.
So Mud Creek, the existing facility is lit. We will install lights at Mud Creek North. Langston is lit. Long Island, North Sati, and Raccoon Creek, they probably don't have lights. And that's another thing that if we want to say, hey, let's put lights in, well, we can fund the installation if y'all can handle the monthly billing. So that's, you know, something else that would fall into that $75,000 clause. We could reimburse you for the installation. So that's always an option.
So back to 75,000. Is that projects that we deem and you approve or you request and we see if we can help you with? Just
Either or. So we kind of try to outline it where Jackson County's responsibility would fall on routine maintenance, which is hard to define because it could be anything, but the easiest way to define it is anything that can be handled using ordinary tools and manpower that y'all have. Nothing that you would have to contract or anything like that to do. Once it gets to specialized equipment and stuff like that, that's a non-routine repair. That's where we would come in, and that's where it would fall under that $75,000. We look at it together, say, hey, that's something y'all can help us with, we can reimburse you for, or say, hey, no, that's not something we can handle.
That's per access area.
Yes, sir. Per year.
Per year, correct.
Mhm.
Do you have any maps of anything to show us the new facility?
So I apologize. I've been on vacation on the road for the last week, and we actually just finalized that agreement. Attached to that agreement, there at one time was a plan, but I don't know if it was sent with it.
North Saudi, is that the one down by Groves Park, down on 79, that we're North Saudi?
It's the old, I'm sorry, I'm out of Montgomery, so I'm not as familiar with that, but it's the old bridge right away in North Saudi Refuge.
About the rock road?
Yeah, right there, right center screen.
Yeah.
Thank you. That it, Keith? Yes. Yes, sir.
On that bridge.
Yeah.
Okay.
I do have the plans I can email to y'all.
And you know where Long Island is.
Oh, I know where all
Yeah. And Langston. John, any comments?
No, I appreciate Keith and Juliana Dean, the Assistant General Counsel for the working on this and working with us, because this was not the first iteration that we had, so we had to work through some things, and they were really good to work with us to get it. But I think it's a reasonable agreement for them to do the capital improvements and us do the take care of side. It ought to be good for the voters in Jackson County.
The new areas, they won't have restrooms or anything public.
No, sir, we generally don't put in restrooms, number one, because that doesn't fall under maintenance purview. Now, if you guys would like a restroom, we can talk about it. I don't know how many boat ramp restrooms you've been in. Sometimes they're well maintained, sometimes you don't want to step foot in them, so.
That may be a responsibility on Doug.
I know, too. Well, thank y'all very much. Thank you.
So let me ask, this would be okay for us to approve and sign at our next meeting, first meeting?
Yes, sir. Yeah, it's no hurry. So timeline, the only thing I can talk about, timeline for construction. For the new facility, we are in the permitting stages, hoping to have those permits completed soon. With anticipated construction happening anywhere from the end of this year to the beginning of 2026, somewhere in that time frame for construction. And then all the other projects we talked about are ongoing right now. So we have time.
Thank you.
Everybody okay with putting it on the new business?
And I'll be sure to send the plans. I apologize, they were not included in the agreement.
We'll put it on new business next meeting.
Sounds good.
We appreciate the state's investment in Jackson County.
Absolutely.
Thanks for sticking in there with us for a year and a half, because we've been working.
It went very smooth. That's one of the most smooth agreements that I've worked through here recently, so. And I'll hang out and get you.
Thank you, Snake. Next item in work session is litigation, bankruptcy. Mr. Arnold?
So y'all may think that's this time of year, it'll be a month or two away. I always come and ask y'all to approve the litigation and insolvency list. That's for business, personal property. That's any account that we had that was a business that's gone out of business, anything like that, filed bankruptcy. But this is not that list. I just want to make sure y'all understand. I will be coming back in July. That's a normal yearly thing. This is the ones, the litigations and bankruptcies that we just carry over on our books every year. We've been carrying these over. Last time, we normally come after an audit and ask y'all to just, it's not really something I have to have you guys vote on, but I would rather have the county commission all on board to understand that we just want to write these off. The auditors went through our audit this year and suggested that, hey, you carry these over on your books too long, just get rid of them. We're never going to collect them. And it's just something that we have to show as a liability or show in our paperwork every year. So we just want to write them off is basically what's going to happen to them. If y'all have any questions, there's a lot of them are very old. I'm gonna look over them and see.
So again, these are ones that the owner is either one litigation or successfully declared bankrupt.
Yeah, most of them are bankruptcies. Most of them are people that have filed bankruptcy. So there was no way for us to collect them. There's a few in there that they were in litigation. Somebody sued somebody, whatever it was, and it might have been for a few years. But legally, I can't collect taxes while they're in litigation like that. And by the time it gets to the point where we do collect, somebody else goes into that business or whatever it happens to be, it's a new person and we can't go back and collect old litigations like that. So we just carry them over and show them on our books and show them on our books until finally we just write them off. Last time I done this was 2013. Well, I say last time the revenue commissioner done this was in 2013. I'm just asking y'all to maybe put that on your next meeting and just vote to approve the list or accept the list.
So we'd like to have it for the new business next meeting.
That's fine. I'm no hurry for it. That's fine.
Any other questions? Okay. Thank you, sir.
Appreciate it.
Next item, litter control officer, Sheriff, we were just going to discuss Reserve Captain Cecil Wells, as we all know, we awarded him Volunteer of the Year for 2025 for Jackson County, at the state of the county. I know he was considering still trying to do a little work, and but we're getting to the point where we've had the discussion, the sheriff and I've had a discussion. We need to service across the county, and maybe one of the best ways is to establish a full position that would now be responsible for the supervision of our inmate crews that are out taking care of our roadways as well as taking care of other items things across the county. So, sir, if you got any comment?
Yeah, first of all, we're not running Cecil out. As long as he wants to do it, his volunteer work, he's certainly welcome to do what he does. But he is taking on not only the roadways, but he does radio maintenance on some of our vehicles and installations of vehicles. And his health is not good right now. So we're trying to keep him in our prayers for him to get better. But, he's slowing down a little bit and he knows that. And for us to be able to pick up the trash on the roads, I think it's going to take somebody full time to do it. We're never going to find a volunteer like him. I don't think another one exists. He's been doing this for several years, free of charge for the county. And again, his service was recognized at the state of the county, and rightfully so. But I think it may be time to think about reestablishing that as a paid position as a corrections deputy to do that. My thought is, and I know it'll probably come in as the bottom rung of the salary range, that's fine. There may be some existing corrections deputies that may want to take over that spot and then put that new corrections deputy into the corrections, into the jail to work. So I don't know that for a fact, but I know last time we had it as an open position, we did have corrections deputies that were interested in doing it. Be basically maintaining, the roadway as best they can, and they're just not getting picked up like they need to be.
Question? Comment?
So you're talking about additional staff reassigning them or are you reassigning?
So it would be an additional position. That person will be a corrections officer that will be, responsible for watching over the inmates as they clean the roads. So much like Cecil's done, much like Mr. Blackberry did, much like Charlie Murphy did for years here. When we had a budget crunch, that position was eliminated and Cecil volunteered to take it over after his retirement and has done a yeoman's job.
Full-time position.
So real quick, I'll give you, we've looked at this, yes, it would be a full-time position. It would, we would have to establish a description for this, and we don't currently have a job description. We have done a search with other counties who have these positions, and we've gotten a couple of these that we can use as a base. Then the question is, what grade and step? It would really depend. The one I think we're looking at, just to give a number, is sort of going to run in the neighborhood of what we would normally see for our grade 5, step 1, which is going to be in the neighborhood of $47,000.
And would it require an additional vehicle or anything on y'all's part or you have existing?
No, we have an existing van that they utilize, a trailer that they utilize to clean up the stuff.
The restrictions are much diminished because I know during COVID we couldn't pull inmates out because of exposure. So that's not an issue anymore. So
Well, the only issue is we can find several that we can sort of trust to go out on the road and do that. And where Cecil had a relationship with them, they would go to bat for him if there was any kind of a problem.
right.
They would not do anything to hurt Cecil or to try to escape and make him look bad. They just felt that way about him. They call him Paw. So I don't know that we'll ever find anybody like that, but it just needs to be somebody to monitor their activities and make sure that they don't escape. We've had them run off, and they run off, we get them.
Okay. No,
Thank you, Coach. What I would propose is we would have to get, like I say, a job description put together, one that the sheriff would have to agree to. We would have to change the org chart, and this would be corrections deputies would be part of the jail organizational chart. And the commission work session. Move forward. Everybody okay with that? Okay. All right, thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Next item is pickup truck, solid waste. Director Skipper.
Chairman, Commissioners, thank you for letting me speak. I want to start off saying what y'all just talked about, that is much needed in the county, and I appreciate y'all looking into that. We have I believe y'all have a packet of some stuff. We have a 2019 F-250 gas crew cab truck. Got close to 70,000 miles on it. This truck is starting to give us some issues. Currently, the AC's out. We've added Freon and added Freon and added Freon, and now we come to the point where it has to go to a mechanic. We looked at Harvin Ford, and they're going to have to remove the whole dash to change the part out. I talked to them today. It's just going to have to be an hourly job. Their hourly rate is $165 an hour. So what we're looking at now is put money in this truck, or it's now a good time to sell the truck and just buy a new one. So that's what I'm recommending. I believe y'all have 3 trucks that I presented. One's a F-250. It's actually on the lot right now. It's a 2024 that somebody backed out on. And then the other 2 is a Chevrolet. One's a crew cab, one's a double cab. And that one on the Chevrolet will have to actually be built. They're not ready. But both of these are on the state bid list. Okay, any questions?
So what's the estimated cost of repair hour wise for that?
Talk about the AC. They really, I asked them to get me a quote. They never got me a full quote. They just said that's something they would have to do. by the hour. I don't know. They told me they acted like, again, they have to take the dash out, fix the part, and then put the dash back. So I don't know. They didn't give me a.
That's all what you got.
What's this truck used for?
This truck is used for our can guy. So,
Picking up cans.
delivering cans, pulling the, trailer. We use it for community cleanups. If you've been to a community cleanup or seen where we have the tire trailer where we collect tires, that's the truck that does that. So, it's starting to warm up and air conditioning ain't working.
What was the mileage you said, Tom?
Close to 70,000.
What's the estimated value of the truck?
So I did a Kelly Blue Book this morning. And Kelly Blue Book says anywhere from 25,000 to 30,000. I looked at J.M. Wood auction. It wasn't the last auction, it was the one before. I didn't have an F-250 the last one, I didn't. Comparable to this, but in December, they had a 2020 F-250 with 75,000 miles, not in the condition of ours in. Ours is in much better condition, and it sold for 21,500 back in December.
Problem having AC.
Yeah, main problem, yes, sir. But with the year on it, 6 years old, we're figuring there's gonna start being more issues coming, because this truck does drive our county roads every day.
Four wheel.
It's 4-wheel drive.
I'm gonna ask you to go back to Harlan, and I'm gonna give you a quote. Let them take the truck, let them take a look at it, and, let's get a quote, so we know what we're really comparing. I don't know whether with that it's gonna be 3,000, 10,000, or 20,000. And that can be a big deal. $47,000 versus repairing a truck. And I think with 70,000 miles on it, yeah, it's getting a little mileage on it, but I'd just like to see a comparison. Necessary, I'll go with you.
I asked them for it. That's what they told me was, we'll give you our hourly rate. So I can go back. I went in person actually today to talk to them.
Everybody else? Everybody like it? Do we know anybody?
Again, I talked to my mechanic, and my mechanic advised this is the time to look at trading and getting a new vehicle.
We have to keep in considerations. New trucks and money and roads, so it just all goes into the equation of everything. With folks, if we can spend a little money and keep the truck going. I mean, in the general sense, the general public, a 19-mile truck is a fairly new truck in the public's eye.
Yeah, this is the sister truck to the one we sold last year that y'all approved. It sold for 37,000. We ended up making $6,000 on that truck because we only gave 31,000 for it in 2019. So we made money on it, but I don't see us making money on it now.
Question's how much will we lose if we hang on to it?
Yeah, I mean, that's, because, we have a mechanic and we can work on the trucks, but today we had 2 garbage trucks go down. So my priority is garbage trucks. Pickup truck, we'll get to it when we can. We got to get the garbage truck back up and running. So we've only got 2 bays. The bays are full. So just drive with the windows down.
This is important. You said F-250.
Yes, this is F-250.
Let's
I
see
get
if
you
I
that.
can get a little more from Harlan. See what he get it to. Is everybody okay with that? Okay, and then come back to us with that, and I will, if necessary, I'll go over. Okay. I know you get it done, okay, but I'm willing to go along. You think that's okay?
Yeah, I'm just looking at like from a personal, if it were my vehicle and I had 70,000 miles of 2019, and again, it's not my vehicle, so I would probably be looking at, if I could get 25 or 30 out of it, and that would leave me spending 20. New truck.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, either way, and I want y'all to know, our next meeting's in 2 weeks. I can't have my employee go 2 weeks without air conditioning, so we will get this fixed. We'll probably get it fixed next week if we can get to it.
Okay,
So it'll be fixed before I probably get you a quote.
all right. If that's what you can do, okay. Any other questions? No? Okay,
Okay.
thanks, sir. That is the last item that we have in our work session, so at this time, reports, we're going to reports from the staff, next week.
No.
Okay, county engineer.
Thank you, Chairman, Commissioners. I did want to provide a quick update. Just please let me know when the time starts. I'm going to take one of those. I'm going to try to be 5 minutes in minus. County Road 32. So we did complete a project. I wanted to update on that, and then afterwards, I want to run through the patching list. I know that's of interest to all of you. The project, County Road 32, this was just as a quick reminder, this was a grant, ADM provided grant that it was administered through ADM for culvert replacement. There was opportunity, initial announcement for a single project that we applied for and were awarded, and then multiple project or follow-up funding. So this is one of three that will be to come, but this one is complete now. So this is the existing structure. It was constructed in 1940. It was plagued with some issues that had resulted in a 4-ton rating. As you'll see in the photos. Turn it on. Thank you. Cracking, heavy spalling, exposed rebar, foundation undermining, masonry unit vents, and then modular deck for the structure, 2-bay bridge culvert. Has essentially well exceeded its lifespan. So this is a demo phase of this project. You can see the modular sections of the deck there, the masonry. You can definitely tell the difference in degradation in the flow line of where that culvert exists. 2-barrel, and they're just working in the first, excavating mud, removing the structure, and preparing for the new structure's bedding. That's the structure removed, and this is County Road 32 off of 33, just east of Harmony Baptist Church near the S section. This actually maps as a major collector, although it's very low major collector ADT wise, but some of those exist from the old days. Fine grading here. So you saw the, muck's removed. You can see the sump hole where dewatering had taken place, larger stone in to firm up the bedding, and then fine grading and layout for the new structure. And new structure showing up. So each piece of this is a truckload that you can see in the background. And that comes in modular, and then it's constructed piece by piece by that mainly. So that's capabilities of 200-ton crane. It's 140. And these are cast, so pre-cast, which not always perfect. As you can see from the photos, they can require hand chipping, field work to get these to nest, and it's tongue and groove application. So it's piece by piece the way these nest. They receive gaskets and follow up work once in place. And you can see the sections going together in the location of the old structure. The first barrel coming together. There's the second barrel. Work progresses. And so in unison, the crane and the machine on the ground have to work together to ensure that those are nested together. That first one's really the critical run because all the other sections base off of that. And you can see in the background there where there's spacing in between, and it's manufacturer's recommendation for the spacing that exists as well as the way they go together and nest. And if you ever want to call up a thunderstorm, just stick a 140-ton crane in there. And we were actually delayed, it's a lightning delay, and there's a protocol on radius of the weather and how long it has to stop and all those things. So, you know, our guys and their guys worked in the rain to do all this. That's a glance of the finished structure. There's a lot of work. It's kind of fast forward from the last slide. You can see the structure coming up on the abutment field, the large stone in place for the scour protection, the spacing in between the culvert, and that's actually formwork for the closure board that will take place in the middle. Crushed stone will fill the gap in between from manufacturer's recommendation. Filter fabric actually covers the gaps, and you can see those strips on top. So that's overall joints. And that's just a snap of the fill. It's actually layers of stone and fabric to build that fill material so that there's no settlement in the abutment. And then the large stone just is protection for scour and flow. And that's a shot of the finished structure, both barrels together. Final seating, grade work's done, and they're finishing up the other side, removing some dewatering equipment, et cetera. The roadway's notched, laid out, ready for pavement. And the county's paving the road over it. This took place last week. So 1 lane paved and now 2 lanes paved. And if you'll notice this comparative to 145, edge line's much improved. The ride, I would say, is improved, and the center line joint is better also. So we're making progress on the paving equipment. Just a final shot there before and after. Any questions before I move on to page?
Do you like the new paving apparatus this way?
The new paver is a fantastic machine. We are learning. This is 1 of 3, so 2 more to follow. The next is County Road 365. So this was a 4-ton structure.
So start to finish on this, how many days? Work day.
I don't have the exact number of days. I can tell you it was around a month and a half
Okay.
excavation. And a lot of that's logistics on order time.
So is that
Tremendous lead time on precast.
set 30 work days or
Close to open basically till the project was complete. So the demo was, you know, a lot of that. And then while that's precast, obviously we're doing something else. 4-ton structure, 40-ton structure.
That's right.
Restricted commerce, all those things, that's no longer for that. Any other questions?
So, I mean, are we finished there, or will there be guardrails or signs or anything?
Yeah, so the width of the roadway, there's shoulder area and then clear zone. So that's constructed with the adequate width where no guardrails required.
Okay.
And that's based on speed, traffic, all the time.
Very good.
Any other questions? Okay, thank you. So the next, the patching, this is a snapshot of the patching floor. I just want to show you this for several reasons. It's a hot topic right now. I know with your phone, if it's anything like ours, and I hope yours is not as bad as ours. So just a reminder, this geographically organized and chronologically. So you'll see some color coding there. That's what that means. Those may or may not be what dictates when it's patched. So based on conversations or reports and based on conditions that are found to exist out there, these folks prioritize that, and that can change, not just chronologically. The geographic part can happen both at the same time too. And what I mean by that is if they leave out that morning with a full load and they're working in a far reach of the county and they come back and they refill, they may not travel back that far again. They're going to work somewhere closer. So there may be partials until that's complete. So just know that's our mode of operation. Now, my point in presenting this, or one of the points, is please make sure if you have a hot item that we have it on there, or we understand the priority that it is to you. And if you don't feel like we have that in the right place, or we need to revisit that, please advise. We know it's a big deal right now, and there's north of 200 roads on here, so there are gonna be folks calling you most likely, just like they're burning us up, so.
So is there is alluding to your long far reach and then coming back, is there anything that we do that looks at the efficiency of movement of material or machines? Where we're like, just use an example of let's just say random city here, and there's the 10 to 12 spots that need to be repaired. I mean, is it efficient to knock those out at one time, or are we going most essential, and so maybe it's here or there?
So no, that geographic location, that's the reason they're stuck together, is so they can go get several roads.
So when you refer to geographic location, you're talking about similar color of the.
Well, there's actually a scale in the bottom right that color relates to when that work order was received. So in a perfect world, all things equal, they could go in different geographic areas and do all they could do in a day and pick off the oldest ones. That geographic location just lets them know, hey, I've got 6 right here close together. But all things equal, I could do my oldest first. And I could work down that notification. But the reality is there's roads that are worse than others. So those.
Well, I understand that. Yeah. I mean, and there's ones that'll bend your tire, and others are just minor inconveniences. So.
And I think liability, as far as once we're made aware of an issue, have to consider that.
Notice is a factor.
Correct.
Your coloring chart, like over here in the color scheme, I see a lot of orange over here, but there's no orange over here.
It's hard to make out the April's orange.
April, yeah. And how current is this?
Took the picture today.
I seen one for his district one last week. It's not on there.
Okay. Has it been patched?
I don't know.
Thank God. Hopefully that's the case, but let's talk and make sure.
Thank you for this. As always. Yeah.
Anything else?
Real quick question, you got 32 is done now. I know on your list is, web drive and, 142.
412, web drawing 412.
Oh, yeah, okay.
That's our
How
next.
quickly can you get to web drive?
So there's some work to do before the paving can take place. We're working on that now. Some drainage structure things and some ditching required. We're gonna try to do that. As soon as possible. Yes, sir.
412.
I had some folks called in, who actually the Bridgeport Police Chief called in where your guys are working on Janelle and over in the Knox Glen area. They're really bragging on the prep work that you guys are doing on the roads over there.
Thank you.
Really going well. When do you plan on proceeding on with strip paving?
Yeah,
That's web drive.
that's our plan.
The two, they're close, they're pretty close together. They're all.
They are, yeah, they're close to us, so we were gonna.
Both are offset.
That's a much larger job for us than these smaller, so that's our next
But
goal.
beyond that,
Yeah, we're gonna move to the next district, so those two, and then we'll be on the next, we'll be contacting you guys about where you'd like to strip it.
Appreciate you getting the web drive on. There's not a 3-yard stretch on web drive. I don't think this is not a problem.
It's in poor condition.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
What about about saying?
Yeah. Okay. Anything else? Okay.
Thank you all.
Appreciate it. County attorney?
I do have just one comment, and that is that, tomorrow is Law Day. And that was a day established in the United States by the national government to celebrate the rule of law, recognize the rule of law, the importance of the rule of law. So we celebrate it on May 1st every year. The judicial system and judges in particular have taken quite a hit lately in the public eye and in the media. But I want us all to remember the importance of the rule of law and how it affects us in our daily lives and how it kind of keeps everything centered. And I'm sure you all have heard the famous quote from William Shakespeare's play that says, the first thing you do is kill all the lawyers. What they don't tell you is the sentence before that, which says, if you want to create anarchy, the first thing you do is kill all the lawyers. And so you got to take the whole quote together and let's just recognize that the rule of law is important no matter what the politicians say. And it is the bedrock of our, and the foundation of our society and our government, the Constitution. So let's recognize that.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Yes, sir.
Judge Manning, anything?
Mr. Porter was gonna brag on me for a second. You're part of the rule of law, so go ahead. You're part of the judicial system.
So, I've got two things now, since I talked to you earlier, Mr. Nance. So, there's two bodies at the hospital that are indigent. We don't have, they can't, one of them, there's a relative in Oklahoma that's in a nursing home who's unable to, take care of them. Another one is a corner call that John David ran that's been there about 3 weeks. So they've asked for an order to allow John David to make final disposition of the bodies. So, what do you guys offer? $250 for indigent burial? Is that right?
Yeah, I think that's it, right?
We don't have a specified amount, it's just the county is able to pay for the cheapest disposal.
So, John David is communicating with Dr. Laurel about cremation. That's the cheapest route. So, if you all are okay with it, I've got some information on one of them, Mr. Porter. I'll ask him to prepare an order to allow John David to cremate these two individuals, and he's sending me the information on the other one. Like I said, one's been there 3 weeks, one's been over a week, and they need to be removed from the.
Okay, so what do we need to do at this point? Do we need to motion to?
To allow the indigent burial or whatever the lowest amount is. I don't know what that is. Yes, sir.
So we have two. So we would need a motion, not for each one separately, but to allow the burial of two.
Yes, sir.
Indigent bodies.
Yes, sir. I think in this instance, and it may be wise to come back later at a later time and just pass a general policy so that the probate judge doesn't have to come every time there's an indigent and say that he's authorized to expend the funds necessary for the lowest amount available.
And unfortunately, this is happening more often. So it's not something that I expect to stop, unfortunately. And it breaks my heart. It really does.
Make a motion to
Oh, just a minute, let me, if I could, I'll get to you in just a second.
Yeah.
Try to get my words together. Okay, sir.
Make a motion, set the rules.
Okay, we have a motion, set aside the rules. Can we move to that at this point?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Do we have a second? Good.
Yeah, you can do your second, then when you do your comments, I can ask something.
Okay. All right, any questions?
Would you all like for myself or John David one to try to talk, Scottsboro owns their own crematory, and ask them what the very lowest they can do for crematory is so that you could have something? Was that something y'all want me to do?
I think that'd be helpful to know.
I'm sorry, I know that don't apply to this, but I just wanted to ask y'all about that.
Okay. So we have a second. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Motion carries. Now, let me offer, I've tried to craft a motion here. The way I put it together is motion to approve Jackson County Coroner to bury two indigent bodies. Do we need, what else do we
I would
need
say
to
dispose of.
dispose of? Okay.
Where would those funds come from? Would they come from the coroner's fund? Would they come from the general?
No,
fund?
it comes from the general fund. There is a requirement that we take care of this by law. Okay, do I have a motion to approve the Jackson County coroner to dispose of 2 indigent bodies?
Make that motion.
We have a motion, do I have a second?
Second.
Second. Any discussion? No discussion, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries, thank you.
Thank y'all for doing that, and I'm sorry I'm having to ask.
Will you have a third one? You said you may have a third one?
No, there's that one that passed away doesn't have family that will do anything, but they do have assets.
Okay.
So these 2 don't have any assets. One of them was a nursing home resident. And the other one, I think, lived in a rental property or something that John David did.
Okay. But with that, John, you're recommending that we move to pass some resolution that allows. So we need to get with you and have a discussion about that.
And I would say it would allow the chairman to approve the indigent burial up to the lowest amount available at that time, and not set a dollar limit, because that will change over time. But we'll get together and I'll give you some language that would be good
We
for
get
us.
something together by the next meeting. Maybe. Okay. All right. Okay, anyone else? Sheriff? Doug, anything? All right, sir. With that, we'll move to comments from the commission. District 4, Commissioner McBride.
Yes, would like to say it breaks my heart to have to dispose of someone. I mean, you're talking about a person who got mom, dad, and probably siblings, and we don't mean to be callous when we say it that way. That's just the way we have to put it. But my prayers go out to those people, and just keep them in your prayers. I'd like to say thank you guys for all the work you do. Our county employees, congratulations on putting in 15 hard years. 15? That's right. And all the other folks that put in the time. I mean, there's days when a day seems like 2, and I'm sure you've had those. But thanks for all you do. Keep all those folks in your prayers that are going through hardships, and thank you.
District 3.
I don't have anything to add to something.
Okay. District 2, Mr. Kenneth.
I'd just like to say thank you. It's a pleasure to work around you guys, work with you. Used to be a principal. I never told the teacher I worked over them. Always wanted to work with them. So appreciate what all y'all do.
District 1, Commissioner Gold.
I'd just like to reaffirm our appreciation for our employees, longevity that they have, but in the years of service to the county. It's a great service that you do, and we appreciate that. I'd like to thank Director Skipper and his crew for going out to clean up County Road 93 on yet another garbage dump. We had a few hiccups to try to get it going, but within a week or so we got it cleaned up, and I think it's a step in the right direction. I try to do a litter crew with the inmates. We had a hiccup on that. I even offered to go out there and clean that up myself, but they got out there to go and do that, and we need that. And we appreciate all the work that Cecil did with him winding down. It's, if we can appropriate some funds to do that, it's just something that we need in the county. And anything that we can do as a body to move forward to help the citizens of the county and save money and improve on life and quality of life, that's what we need to do. It's a shame that we have to dispose of the indigent, but what we're here to do, it's a service that we are required by law to provide. And it's a shame that we have to do that, but it's a service we must do, and we owe it to the citizens. And it's their money that we're working with to do all these things. And we have to be mindful of that. Always do our job to spend the citizens' money, in a proper fit manner and save where we can. Thank you.
Also want to say thank you to everybody, all of our county employees. We just briefed out the state of the county, and when you look at what they have done over the last year, it is an incredible amount of work. And I know that we have folks out there that have roads that really need road attention right away. Thanks, Jonathan, for what y'all are trying to do to get to all of those. It is a long list, recognize that. But our employees come to work every day. And they're here to serve the people of Jackson County, and I think I speak for all of us. We're all proud of the opportunity we have to work with county employees doing their job. Keith, I want to say thank you to you and thank you to your organization for what you're doing for Jackson County. Like you said, it's not just one boat ramp. You're doing a lot here and providing more access for people who want to get outdoors and get on the water and want to go hunting and those kind of things. We really do appreciate that. And thanks for your investment in Jackson County, which is what you guys are doing. Anytime you have a question or whatever, just give us a call and let us know. Okay, I'm sure you will, but give you that all. So thanks for that. Our next meeting is scheduled for 12 May 2025. We got a number of items already stacking up for that, so that'll be an interesting meeting for us. And so with that, do I have a motion to adjourn the meeting?
Motion.
Second. And motion and second, all in favor say aye. Aye. Motion carries. Thank you very much. Thank you.